Welcome to the 9PL podcast, where we deep dive into the world of the Country Trucker Caps Nines Premier League and bring you the latest updates, insights and discussions. Today we're interviewing former Broncos captain. He brought along his own mug as well. Mr. Alex Glenn. Brother, it's good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you again for having me on here, and it's great to be a part of this again.
No, tell me about Legacy, the gym. Obviously, that's your brand. You and the team there. How's it been for the past 12 months?
It's been great, man. It's been great. We've grown about 60% in membership this year, which is huge for an independent gym and two guys that know nothing about business. So we seem to be doing something right. The community's been amazing. I think for us, in terms of the last 12 months, we really sat down and focused on what do we want to achieve. And the biggest thing was we wanted to get more involved in the community and being out there, not just people coming to us and training at Legacy. We wanted to get out with the people. And to kickstart that was the Nines Comp last year. That was our first time competing in an event, and it was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge for us. It was huge for our people. Our people showed out on the weekend or over that weekend, and then it was just a snowball effect. We started entering people into the Hyrax competitions, the turf games later on in the year, and then you know what? It just started growing. We entered teams into our touch comps, our local touch comps, and Legacy's starting to become a household name within our community, and that's what we want. We want to impact people in the best way form, and the only way we know is through competing and through sports and stuff. So it's been great, man.
Yeah. And how have you how have you found the gym itself? Have you brought on new gear? Have you got new training schedules and all that stuff in there as well?
Bro, well, we with the growing in numbers, we had to obviously reshuffle our structure in the gym. So we restructured our original floor plan, opened it up, and tried to monetize the space as much as we can, because we got just under 300 square meters of floor space, so we just weren't really monetizing the amount of space that we actually had. So we reshuffled it around, brought in some big riggings, some more ski ergs and all the cardio machines and all that stuff to manage the space and capitalize with the amount of people we're getting in the gym. So it's been great, man. Again, it's a learning curve and it's a great problem to have. But we get into a space, man, we'll have to start looking at like bigger spaces. And maybe looking down the pathway of franchising and expanding.
Okay.
So
far out, that's exciting, man. I know that. I mean, if it wasn't for the light rail, I'd be there a lot more, because it's trying to get from my place from Palmy all the way up. Jesus, a punish.
I know, man.
But still, like, I mean, obviously follow your socials and see how all your progress throughout the year, and just looks like it's always packed there. I was lucky to get back in there for a, we just had the RLPA boys in there, back there for a transition. Was it Connect? Keep fit, keep connected?
Keep connected,
Yeah, I stupidly wore an Anko t-shirt. Inside out, mind you, Nathan Peets took me to town. Worst person too. Looked like a peanut in front of him. Who's the peanut gallery. So I had to pair up with him, Rainey and Greg Bird, and it was horrible. Your gym is like only where LSKD type setup. You got to be 6 foot tall, and I'm 5'11".
Oh, you smashed it though.
Oh, it was horrible.
I think it's funny because Pizzi still brings it up.
That's right.
You made us look bad. Bad.
Yeah. He keeps dining out in it. But I'm looking forward to watching him coach at the Nines next year. But what I suppose what made you interested in re-entering the Nines Comp?
I think from last year there was so many positives that came from it, and I think the best part was just reconnecting with all the ex-players that you played against. It was just like a huge vibe. And literally my teammates, we all still talk about it, the high that it was, reconnecting with mates that you hadn't seen in many years. It was like a festival in the greatest shape and form. Because it was like everyone was there, but it was there for the right reasons. We were competing, we were playing sport that we love. And when you look at the structure that you've created, 9-minute halves ain't too bad, bro. You know what I mean? That ain't too bad. 18-minute games. I played in a tournament about 3 months ago, and we played 3 games in one day, and it was 60-minute games.
Oh,
Different scenario, man, and the body felt it. Whereas when you play 18-minute games, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually not too bad. So for us players, man, like you can get out there. If you haven't played footy in a long time, like that time out there is manageable.
Yeah.
Unlimited subs. So it's a great weekend. The sun was shining, man. It brought, like I said before, it brought my community together in a different form.
Yeah.
Instead of just being in the gym, it brought them along, and I want to get amongst it again, man. I want to get amongst it. We fell short last year. You know, we come out with a target on our heads, and we loved it.
Yeah.
We fell short, but in a way, it ignites the fire inside. And you know, the Sharks, they, to their credit, man, they were just very well equipped out there.
Yeah.
They played a good brand of footy. And you know what? We want to come back firing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was that's just what profile brings, I suppose. You had some really good players in your team who'd only sort of just recently retired as well, and then obviously Drummy speaks for himself being out there as well, and Geordie Marshall.
Yeah.
Like, so it was so cool. I think not only your connection piece with the community, but being able to have a run around with those guys and do it again, but also give the opportunity to them to actually play with each other because they probably hadn't. And then have your families there on the sidelines. I mean, you basically mopped up the corner of the whole of Tugun with Legacy T-shirts, which is great. That's the outcome that you want for sure. But I suppose, key learnings is you went down to Southside Dogs in that semi-final, which blew up on our YouTube. It was one of the best games. Ironically, the grand final was blown out because you had cooked Southside Dogs.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so it was a great game.
That game went try for try, man. And,
it's crazy.
And the scoreboard didn't blow out. It was like they scored, we scored, they scored, we scored. And whether we went to the final or they went to the final, I think it could have been the same result because, like you said, we were both cooked, man. And we were sitting there watching the final going, man, honestly, I'm glad we're not out there. We were just busted, We were busted, man. And it was very enjoyable, man.
Yeah.
We went into that comp with no structure. We were just like, we got the caliber in the team to go out there and honestly pull off some awesome stuff, which we did. And then it come down to one tackle that I missed on one of the boys. And I'm kind of glad it was me, you know what I mean? Because then I couldn't blame anyone else. I was like, you know what? I'll take the ownership. We didn't make it to the final because of myself, and I just copped the heat from all the boys.
I bet you did. I bet. No, I mean, a lot of things lead to decisions and things that happen while out in the field as well. So I wouldn't be that hard on yourself to think it was it. I'm sure there was plenty of other things that had happened as well. And Hoffy doing an early crow, doing a money to the crowd after he scores a try. So. But it was a cracker. But
it was honestly like, it's from everyone that I speak about, man, it was such an amazing event that you've done. And I know the planning that went into it was very stressful, and something like that. You know, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of team to get it done, and you did it well under the conditions. You know, it got cancelled or we had to change venues the weekend before because of all the rain and all that stuff. And it was just a huge event. And how could we not want to be a part of it again?
Yeah. Will you guys train next year for next year's one? If you get a session in?
Yeah, I'm gonna be sending out our boys some conditioning blocks and some gym programs.
No ham or Ferrero shares over Chrissy.
Get a basis. You know, because the reason why we need to do that is you look at the caliber across the whole competition. It's all handpicked now.
Yeah,
it's it's not we're trying to fill teams or fill spots. Like, it's all handpicked.
Yeah,
I know last year we were looking at like a Premier top 8, and then, you know, the reserves or, you know, the underdogs. And this, you look at 16 teams, they're all going to be high caliber, man. So there's going to be a standard and a basis that you need to perform. So, you know, our boys can't be coming in thinking that we're just going to get into the top 3 again. It's not going to happen.
Nah.
So you got to have a basis in our team. And I told our boys that I'm going to be sending them some programs, and whether they do it or not, you know, we'll get found out on the weekend. So our boys have got that fire in them. You know, they want to come out and prove a point and perform higher than we did. And where we finished, top 3, top 4. Like we're pretty proud of that.
For sure.
But we want to go one up again.
Yeah. So who have you got any new players coming into your team, or is it sort of going to be the same sort of squad?
Yeah, so we got the same sort of squad, but I've recruited a couple more stars, and one of them is the big Daniel Vito. Daniel Vito's
playing for you.
He's coming back.
No way. He's playing for the USA at the moment,
USA at the moment. And watching some of his stuff, he's been training hard.
That's sick.
He's back in the country for a couple of months as of next year. January, February, March, to spend some time with the family and all that stuff. So I brought him. We call him the meat eater. So it'd be great to have him in our squad. We also got TC Rapati. He's coming back. So he got suspended from NRL a little while ago, and I played in a tournament for the Cook Islands with him.
Yeah.
And mate, his skill set, man, and what he does on the field on 13 versus 13 was just elite.
Yeah, bloody
and unlimited interchanges suits him.
Yeah.
So he'll be a strong wrecking force for us.
That's hectic.
But yeah, I got the same guys in terms of Chico, Bailey, Hoffy, myself, Drummy, Jordan Marshall King's back.
Awesome.
So yeah, man, we brought those two on in terms of like adding a bit of experience and class. Like Daniel Vito can pass as a back or a forward.
Yeah, totally.
100%. And like I said, man, whether you've been out of the game for a while or not, 9.5 suits anyone when you got unlimited interchange, bro. So I was looking for some impact in terms of those two coming through, which would be great.
Yeah.
And then we got Dion at Brooklyn that played for us last year, and they're youngsters coming through that have so much potential. And in terms of like what I want out of this competition is like, remember Rian Stowers that played for us? He killed it.
Yeah, he's gapped it now overseas.
He got an opportunity over San Diego Rugby.
So good.
And that's what this is about.
Yeah,
we talked about it from when we did this last
year.
It
was the actual conversation, was the opportunity to give some of these boys 100%. Some exposure.
And literally, I rang him to get him to come play again, and he goes, "Man, I can't. I won't be here." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I signed with San Diego Rugby." Huge.
So sick.
Huge.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
For sure.
Creating opportunity for our next gen coming through. And that's what 9PL did for them.
He's a gun.
Weapon.
He had such a good carnival.
Weapon.
And I'm hoping, and please tell Drummy this too, don't play OzTag the week before. I don't want to see no sore ankles.
I know, right?
I want to get touchy-feely out there getting ankles broken. I just
want to go hard with it. Man, Drummy was playing on one ankle. Yeah. Imagine what he's like, flying 100%. 100%.
It'll be so good. With I suppose with you guys and what you're trying to do you have a charity of choice? I know that just recently you had a big event for Livin'. Yeah. So Livin'. Is that your charity of choice?
That's our charity
You've
of choice.
You've always been along with them, haven't you? You're close friends of yours?
Close mate of mine. It started 10 years ago when, through a close friend that lost his I guess his fight to the depression and mental health. And I think with rugby league as well, and what they're trying to break down that stigma within men and the youth as well. That's a charity that's close to home. So we support them in every way we can. And like you said, we recently did a golf charity event to raise money for Livin', and we raised close to around 40 grand.
Wow.
For them, which was huge. And for an event, our first time doing it, like it was huge. It was a huge success in our eyes, but more so the conversations that happened throughout the day.
Yeah.
Before our boys teed off, I just said to them, we're here to have fun. We're here to raise money. But at the end of the day, we don't prioritize these catch-ups enough with your mates and over coffee or whatever. So take the next 4 hours to catch in and check in with your mates and just see how everyone's doing. And the conversations that come back after the 4 hours of playing golf was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And I think, we live in this world where life's very busy. No matter who we talk to, we go, "How you been?" "Oh, I'm busy. I'm flat out." Right? We have this demeanor around the more or the harder we work, the more we're going to be able to provide for our family. But then what gets lost in the transition is we don't prioritize enough time to catch up with our peers and our friends or our close ones, just to sit down over coffee, man. We're always living in this rat race, like we got to be here now, I got to be there. And the one thing that I took out of this year is like when you take the time to slow down and just check in, and that's one thing that I praise RLPA for doing, is keeping us connected. It does wonders for you, man. It
Totally.
does wonders for you, and that allows you to be your best self.
Yeah.
It allows you to reflect on your own journey and what you're doing, and going, you know what, I'm filling my cup up with too much things that I'm over, compensating for.
Yeah.
And not focusing on the actual things that are important in my life.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was an amazing thing to do that golf day for Legacy, and it was amazing for our community to get involved, and that's what we want to keep doing more.
That's cool. That's cool. And you're right. It's it shouldn't take a golf day for someone to
Facts.
prompt you and get for you to go, oh, actually, maybe you need to stop and have a look at your I suppose your schedule, if you're overloading, if you're not present with your kids when you're actually with them. And it's hard too, because you got to pay bills, you got to do the work. Unfortunately, that's just part of society. But there is time that we have to stop and reflect on oneself.
Yeah.
And obviously having an event like that, not only just including the raising of funds, but creating the conversation straight away. It's like, oh, shit, I haven't even thought about the last time I reached out to someone to say, hey, I'm not
100%.
feeling well. So,
100%.
so well done, man.
Oh,
That
thank
would have
you,
been
man.
good. It would have
Thank
been
you.
really good. But what's so that's who you guys are supporting. Have you got? I mean, we saw some of your sponsors from last year. They back on with you guys next year. Who's sponsoring you fellas?
Yeah, so our major sponsors is Badera Patios, which is one of our best mates, Brian Baker's business, and he's been a huge advocate
boy.
of Legacy.
Yeah.
He joined our gym community about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And to his credit, man, like he shows up rigorously for himself, for his family. Now his wife, he's joined us, and she trains hard too. And,
Yep.
I think that's what Legacy is all about. You know what I mean? It's trying to create better habits for our members, educate them around the importance of training, not physically but mentally, and just seeing himself grow within himself, seeing his business grow. It's been huge, and so whenever we've done events, he's always been someone that will jump on board straight away without a hesitation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's always been there. So he's our major sponsor. So he'll be on the front of our jerseys, Badera Patios. So if ever you need patios in your household, you know who to go see. And then also two sponsors that have always been a big supporter of me is Aspley Mazda, Camilleri, and what they do up there in Brisbane. He's always been an advocate of my business, and he's been a huge mentor for me as a person and running business as well. If anyone's been to Aspley Mazda and they see how well they run their business, man, he's phenomenal in what he does. But at the same time, he's a great person.
Yeah.
So he's one of our sponsors. And the last but not least is ASICS. ASICS has been a huge supporter, again, of what I do and what we do in the community, and also the Brisbane Broncos brand. So everyone's seen, they supply my team with brand new ASICS boots to run out on the field. And, when I first rang them, the boys didn't hesitate at all.
Yeah.
They were keen to jump on board. And so they're going to be doing the same for our team and jumping on board again. And I think for us, it's cool for the players that haven't got the big contracts or haven't been in the big contracts. Cause, when you get that pair of boots, like, it's a special moment.
Man, it's so good.
And when you're out of the game, like, you don't get those luxuries.
That's what I was going to say. Like, Hoffy, that well and truly sold Hoffy again. Because I was chatting to him about it because he had been approached by a couple of others, and he's like, "No, I want them ASICs, man. I'm staying with Lex." He goes, "I'm not moving that team, man. They're good ASICs."
Yeah, 100%.
Which I'm sure he probably would get cash to be able to buy ASICs, but I think obviously the commitment and the culture that you're building within the gym is transpired into this footy team, because a lot of those boys, are very similar to yourself in terms of, your general makeup and personalities. So that's cool. And the fact you got ASICs on it's just such a cool brand to have in alignment with our competition, being with you guys and obviously long supporters of yourself.
Yeah, 100%, man. What they're doing within their brand, within their community, what they've done with Artie Severe and his you know, his brand of boots that he brought out, man, it's just huge, man. There's some business that I really align my values along, and so it's great to have 3 core businesses that support me and have core values that align with legacy as well.
For sure. Well, we just recently did the live draw with the Levels boys last week. You guys have got Active, Matakesi, and the Salty Pigs. Who are you looking forward to playing out of those 3? I suppose you got Active up first, Joey Vickery and Bartz's Jim v Jim, essentially, which is cool.
Be a good battle, man. I think Battle of the Gold Coast and Jim versus Jim, I think it'll be a huge battle.
Yeah.
And it's South, so I don't think we'll need to sell or hype that game up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The hype's already there.
Yeah.
But you know, Salty Pigs will be a fun game as well.
Yeah.
You know, those boys just love having fun. They love having fun off the field too. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's gonna be a great game against them. But you know, I think the Rugby Sevens team coming over.
Yeah.
You know, they've got a point to prove. And I know they want to come up against us as well.
Yeah.
So I think that game will probably be the highlight in the South in terms of our round pool.
Yeah.
That'll be the big clash, and they're going to have a big caliber of players within their team. So, yeah, I think that'll be the big one.
Yeah.
That'll be the big one.
I'm really excited about that one because they actually just had 2 boys be pulled into the New Zealand Sevens All Blacks team. So they're building, you know, a great little nursery of potential athletes, but they're also just really good people. They want to get around these types of sports, and I'd been chasing them for a good 12 months for this year's one.
Right.
And he's like, I'm not missing the next one. Like, we'll bring a team over, sort of thing. So I think the fact that they get to have a run against you guys, obviously, you know, take some photos and get around some of the boys who they, you know, because they're union boys, but they're tragic leagueies as well. So they'll appreciate the shot to have a bit of fun out in the field, and
for
then
sure. And
then
Nines comp will
connect
suit
after.
them.
For sure.
Nines comp will suit their caliber. It's like, if you look at Nines, man, it suits rugby league and rugby union, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The wide space that you have, man, it's just, it's going to be a good battle, bro. It'll be a great battle, man. And I think it'll be huge for both teams to go into it. Huge opportunities. And, we can't wait, man.
What's a successful 2025 9PL look like to the skipper, Alex Glenn?
When we got those ski masks on our face, bro. When we got that ski mask, man. I think
the goggles on.
And all in all, just being a part of it again is huge.
Yeah.
And I know our community is going to show out again. So in a way, like it's going to be a win-win for Legacy regardless of where we come.
Yeah.
But I think for our boys, we got that hunger that when we seen the boys had the ski masks and the boys just wanted it bad.
Yeah.
They wanted it bad, man.
So good,
they were
those
brewing that night. And, you know what I mean? So, for us, man, like, at the end of the day, it's going to be a win-win regardless. But for me, I want us.
You want them goggles on, baby?
That moment, bro. I haven't had that moment in NRL in the under 20s. So, like, I want that moment in the 9PL comp.
Yeah, totally. Bro. Well, all glory to the goggles, brother. We'll
100%, man. We got to set the bar high, right? Like, I don't want to come out and say, you know what, we just want to participate. Hell no. We're gonna keep it real, man. Yeah. We want those ski masks.
Oh, for sure. And the fact that you've actually been so close as well. I mean, arguably still the heat. We've actually factored that in. So we've got an hour between the last semi-final and the grand final. So there's plenty of time to rest.
Beautiful.
But tough pull, man.
It's a tough pull.
So you've got to be top 2, which would be cool. And I'm interested to see how many boys, particularly Hoffy, stay off of the Ham and Ferrero shares over Chrissy and do your training schedule.
No, 100%. 100%. No, it's going to be good, bro. It's going to be good. And at the end of the day, man, like, I look at our squad, man, and, you know, we got the caliber to do it.
Yes.
We got the caliber to do it. A little bit of structure will do us wonders. And, you know, over the next 2 months, we want to try and get a bit of footy in hand with our team. Because you look at the Sharkies boys, they play footy throughout the year, so they got some spine, they got some structure and flow on how each other plays and that. So if we can get a little bit of footy in hand over the next 2 months, like, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Not so much training, man. It's just like if we can join into a little touch comp, Oztag comp, or something like that. And just flow, because like I was saying, man, our caliber, we come from touch backgrounds, union backgrounds, and league backgrounds, so different persona on how everyone can come together. So yeah, that's going to be our focus over the next couple of months. Yeah, we want to have this basis in terms of, because one thing that we don't want is like, we're a few old heads, man. So the last thing we need is injuries coming close to that comp. So if we can get a bit of basis within the gym, within the footy fields in terms of our conditioning blocks and that, we're going to give ourselves best opportunities to come out there firing. Sure. And I know Willie Mason and Justin Horace said we're a bit cocky and you can overshadow confidence as cocky and all that stuff. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, man, like, we came in there confident that we had the ability to go and compete with the best, and we did.
Yeah,
we
for
did,
sure.
Man. And I think for us, we needed to warm up. We're not young like those boys where we can just throw the footy boots on and come out firing, man. Like old heads like myself, bro. If I don't warm up, man, these old baby cows or the hamstrings, bro, they're gone. They're gone. And when you're playing a game like that, you got to be ready to react fast.
Oh, especially if the opposition is, the caliber that's in the comp. And like 100%. You said, we have our top 8 got the shot to come back through, and then we obviously had a new bottom 8 come through as well. But the whole competition now, even our local league teams who have no NRL experience have got all good local league players, and they're training now each weekend, which is just it's exciting, man. So thanks very much again for jumping back in, bro, and giving all the energy and support to it. We genuinely appreciate having the Legacy crew there, and looking forward to seeing all the community and your family and friends coming along too as well, brother.
It's going to be good, bro. And I think what you've done, man, in terms of the caliber, like you've just intensified the comp, you know. I'm looking forward to seeing Benny Barber in that comp.
Yeah.
You know, what he done in the Pan Pac tournament, I just heard he just ripped it up. So the caliber that these new faces is they're going to bring to this competition, man, I think it's just going to continue to keep growing and growing and growing. And that's what we aimed to do last year. You know, I said it on this podcast last time. I stacked my team so that other teams can do the same. And I think that's what's happened. And it's a snowball effect. And, you know, imagine what it's going to be like in 5 years' time. It's going to be crazy.
I was not even thinking that it was going to be at this standard, last year or the year before sort of thing. So,
and having KO streaming it too, huge, bro. Like that's massive for you guys. Again, it's massive opportunities for these young guns coming through. Hopefully, get scouted and get picked up. And at the end of the day, like for us old heads, we'd had our time. But we still like to compete. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing is trying to create those opportunities for the younger guys coming through, and hopefully give them some opportunities out there and some, I guess, exposure for them.
Yeah,
bro.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be huge, man.
Some more Rians.
Yeah, 100%, man. And those reels, man, they popped off.
Yeah.
They popped off, bro. So that was cool.
It's Touchy-Feely. So shout out to Touchy-Feely. I'm going to catch up with him again because his stuff went absolutely viral.
100%.
Unbelievable.
And it was the same in Pan Pacs.
Oh, yeah.
He come and filmed some stuff with Drummy at Pan Pacs.
Oh, yeah.
Man, our team was stacked.
Yeah.
Like, you take that team to international level, bro, you're carving.
Yeah, I saw that team, man. That's not fair.
Yeah,
you just can't do that. It was not. It was just cheating.
100%. And like we had Benji Marshall in our team too. But he thought we were playing during the week, so obviously he's coaching down at Tigers.
Yeah.
So he couldn't make it up there. But man, if we had him as well played, bro, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
I saw some of the photos you put up. I was like, they should not actually be allowed to play in this comp. This is
100%. Like, man, we ended up winning the final 12-0. And just being.
How do you feel doing that, man? Like pulling together these teams and burying these poor opposition 12-0 in a grand final.
Yeah, man. I was just glad I was on the winning side. Like, if I'm on the other side, I'm feeling shattered. Feeling shattered, bro.
I would be shocked.
Oh, bro. But no, it was just like, in a way, man, it was an awe for me to be out there with the caliber of touch players.
So cool.
And I think, the way that I felt, I think there'll be a lot of similar feelings for these younger boys going out there playing in this 9PL comp.
Yeah.
Against the caliber of players that they might have looked up to.
Yeah.
Or still look up to. You know what I mean? So it's going to be awesome. Let's hope that the sunny skies stay around, bro, because, man, it was huge. It was hot. The fans showed out.
Yeah.
And it was just the best weekend. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to bringing our boys back together. The one thing the boys said is make sure our jerseys aren't baggy like it was last year.
Well, you talked to Joe Milano more than you not, boys. I gave you the sizing
100%.
chart.
I said to the boys, I said to the boys, I caught up with them. I tried them on first hand. We should be good. So if they're still baggy, man,
that's because
on
you're
you
too
boys,
heavy.
mate, it's on me. It's on me. It's not Ant.
It's not even me. I'm not the apparel guy. I run the comp. It's go to Jeremy Lattimore and
Yeah.
Luke Lewis and
Yeah.
Jaden Walker.
No, they're looking good, bro. They're looking good. And I love also too what you guys have done in terms of the supporter tees.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it'd be
I
cool.
think that's amazing, and I think what you've done in the competition and how you've tried to grow the fan base is amazing, bro. So things are going up, and it's looking forward. I'm looking forward to it.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much again for jumping on. We'll make sure we try and reconnect after Chrissy and
Absolutely.
see how we're shaped up. But yeah, much appreciated for your time again,
My
bro.
absolute pleasure, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks,
Thank
bro.
you for having us.